Hello and welcome to the Golden Playbook. Today we got something a little bit different for you guys. So one of my leagues decides the fantasy draft order in September based off a March Madness bracket. So everyone in the league fills out a bracket, obviously. Whoever does the best gets their first choice at pick. So whoever has the most correct bracket gets to choose 1 through 10 and then falls down the line. Whoever did second best gets the second choice and they can pick whatever one. Whoever does the worst is stuck with whatever pick is left, usually one in the middle. I always like a fun way to decide the draft order other than just randomization on the day of. If you have any good ones that your league does, drop them down in the comments. I know some people do like gauntlet challenges or their own kind of NFL draft combine thing. But if you have any other good ideas, drop them down in the comments. Would love to hear them. Other than that, make sure you like and subscribe, and let's get straight into the bracket. All right, let's jump straight into the bracket. Full disclosure, I haven't watched much college basketball this year, probably the least I have in 5 years. With that being said, I'll probably have my best bracket yet. The only really resource I use is a Instagram page, Ryan Hammer. He puts out great information, really kind of helps guide some of your decisions, who you want to go with, sleepers. So that's kind of the only guy I use. I did watch a little bit of the conference tournaments, but really not much. So we're kind of firing away here. Starting off in the South region, Auburn versus 16. Not overthinking there. The 8-9 seed Louisville and Creighton. I like the bigs that Creighton has. I know they have a good big, and that ACC wasn't very strong this year. Moving on, Michigan, UC San Diego. Michigan's coming off a hot Big Ten tourney. Obviously, they won it. UC San Diego has been pretty dominant all year, but I'm going to just go with the high seed there. Same for the next one. I think Yale's probably a good squad, not as good as they have been in past years. They're kind of an upset team, though. They beat Auburn last year, I know. Moving on, I kind of want to take the San Diego State UNC side. If it's UNC, I feel less confident in it over Ole Miss. To be honest with you, I have no idea anything about Ole Miss. For now, we're going to do the San Diego State side and see. Moving on, Iowa State should be a wagon. Should take care of Lipscomb. Marquette, New Mexico. I know nothing about either team. Let's do some Mountain West action. I don't mind a little New Mexico there. And then Michigan State should handle over Bryant, although I hear they're pretty decent, thanks to Ryan Hammer. Moving on, Duke, easy money. Mississippi State, Baylor. I know Baylor has a guard, Jeremy Roach, who used to play for Duke. So we're going to play for the rematch there in the round of 32. Moving on, Oregon versus Liberty. I know a lot of people like Liberty, but do a little old school Pac-12 bias. Give me Oregon and then Arizona. A couple of Pac-12 teams there. And then moving on, BYU, VCU. I watched a little bit of VCU in their tournament. They look decent. Nothing like the VCU teams of past where they're just swarming. And I really think the BYU team's pretty solid. Same with Wisconsin. They should have no problems against Montana. I don't think Vanderbilt's very good. So easy St. Mary's. And then Alabama should score 100 points against Bobby Morris there. Unfortunately, I love my Bobby Morris guys. Moving on, not going to have a 16 seed beat Houston. Gonzaga over Georgia. I think Gonzaga kind of got underseeded. I think they could have been a 7. Here's my first big upset. I like McNeese over Clemson. Like I said, ACC was pretty weak outside of Duke, in my opinion. And then McNeese, I hear, can shoot the lights out. So we're gonna ride with that. We'll take Purdue. I don't know much about High Point, so that's on me. And then we'll take Illinois over the Texas Xavier side. I don't really know either team. Probably prefer Xavier moves on. Just I feel like Illinois would have a better chance against them, but who knows? Kentucky has had bad luck in the tournament of late. Of course, that was under Calipari. So maybe a little change of luck for them. UCLA, Utah State. feel like UCLA never plays good in March Madness outside of the Jaime Jaquez years a couple years ago. And then give me Tennessee pretty easily. Moving on at our last quadrant for the first round. St. John's feels good. This Kansas-Arkansas matchup's pretty interesting. Obviously, two great coaches, Bill Self, John Calipari. I really don't have a good lean either side. I'll take Arkansas to be different, but I really have no lean there. Give me Texas Tech should run away. And then I heard great things about Drake. I think they're really going to be a popular pick, but I don't know much about Missouri, so I'm going to take Drake over them. And then I think Maryland should be a wagon, as we're having loading issues. Maryland should take care of GCU, even though I know they've got a solid stud on their team. And then Colorado State might be the hottest team in the entire country. And I'm going to take them to continue that mojo over Memphis. Memphis just looks decent at best in their conference tournament. And then you have to take UConn, right? The defending champs. I know they're nowhere near what they were last year, but they should win at least one game here. And then Florida's probably the best team in the country, in my opinion. Let's go back up to the top to do round of 32. Auburn-Creighton. I really think this could be a good matchup, but going to ride with the 1 seed Auburn, even though they've looked a little less convincing as of late. And then we got Michigan, Texas A&M. I really don't know a ton about the A&M side, although I like their coach. Of course, I like the Michigan coach. He came from FAU. FAU has had good tournament runs. So let's just move Michigan along there. Don't feel confident about it whatsoever. And then we're just going to take the top seeds here. Iowa State, Michigan State. Why are we hitting a matchup analysis? I don't know. Hit Michigan State there. All right. Duke and Baylor. You got to think Cooper Flag's at least back by this game. Give them the lift they need over Baylor. And I'm going to take Oregon over Arizona. Arizona disappoints me every season. I feel like I always bring them to the Elite Eight, and they're always knocked out round of 32. So now that I've done this switch, Arizona, go for a run. Put them in your bracket. I'm sure it'll do well for you. And then I said this earlier, I kind of like this BYU team. I don't know why. The Mormons, I mean, they're playing some good ball. You can't deny it. I watched probably one game of Wisconsin. Wasn't their best game, and for whatever reason, that's all I can think about. So we're going to move BYU along. And then Alabama should be able to take care of St. Mary's. I know they've got a little bit of health concerns. Mark Sears, most importantly, but should be able to take care of St. Mary's. And then this Houston-Gonzaga matchup really should be probably pretty solid. I just think Houston's defense is too talented. Let's move on to McNeese, Purdue. Don't know much about either side here. We'll take Purdue just because I get a little nervous bringing a 12 seed that far, but wait for later. And then Kentucky, I just don't know if they've got it to go far in this tournament. I'm going to put Illinois through. I don't know why, no rhyme or reason to it, but I'm going to take them over Kentucky. And then I like Tennessee a lot, so I'm going to get past the 10 seed fairly easily. And then same deal for me. I like St. John's here. And then we're gonna do some a little crazy in this last region. We're gonna move Drake along, and then Colorado State. They're just a hot squad. I know Maryland's very talented from what I understand, but I like Colorado State, so sue me. And then Florida, like I said, one of the more talented teams. So we'll move them on. And we're to the Sweet 16, folks. We're almost there. Auburn, Michigan. Oh, gonna. We're gonna come back to that one. Iowa State, Michigan. I don't think Iowa State's fully healthy. So I like Michigan State there. And then I think I'm gonna put Michigan in. I really do. I don't know why. I'm sure Auburn's great, but that's what I'm feeling. We'll move Duke on. And then BYU, Alabama. back and forth on this one too. This is where it gets tougher. It's kind of easier at the beginning. You kind of want to bring BYU along for some reason. We'll do Alabama. We'll keep it easy. We might change that later. All right, Houston, Purdue. I think Houston gets through fairly easy, and then Tennessee. I think I'm pretty chalky there, but I think they're the best teams. And then St. John's and Florida for me. Getting chalky there at the bottom, but that's all right. We've got some good fun up here because I'm gonna change that to BYU, I think. And then we're gonna have Michigan State Elite Eight. That would be fantastic. I don't know where that game's being played, but if it's anywhere near the state of Michigan, that would be absolutely electric. But it might be biased that I just saw them win the Big Ten, but I'm putting Michigan in. Why are we in the matchup analysis? I don't know. All right, Duke, BYU. I'm going to carry Duke along. I don't know. BYU, your run-ins there, all right? And then Houston, Tennessee. I like my Vols. We'll go Tennessee there. And then this Florida team's going to be very hard to beat, so we're going to do Florida there. All right, we're to the Final Four. Pretty chalky outside of the Michigan play. This is where Florida comes along, and we're going to do a Tennessee-Florida SEC battle for the final. And we're going to do Florida to win it all, as I'm sure many, many, many people have. And then total combined points. Two teams good on offense and defense, I would imagine. Let's pull this up here. 5th net rank, 4th net rate. Let's see. Both good scoring teams, 85 and 75, but their defense is solid as well. So what, 85-75 would put it at 160, is that right? Let's say it's a little more tense, a little tight. We'll say it's a 75-71 final, so that puts at 146 points, all right? Let's submit that off. Boy. All right, there you have it. There's my bracket. Hopefully I do well so I get one of the top picks at draft order. I'll know closer to the draft time what kind of pick I'm looking for, and I'll kind of give that information to you guys. But leave down in the comments who you have winning, who's your favorite upset, who have I gone wrong on, who do you have a good feeling about. Just drop down in the comments what you're feeling about March Madness. And this was a little something different for you guys. Let me know if you like that or if you want to just stick to more strictly fantasy football content, which is totally fine by me. I love fantasy football, obviously. Other than that, comment down below all those things. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. Once we get to 100 subscribers, me and Copper, the golden boy you'll see in a minute, we're going to get some thick cut bacon, and you're going to make his day. So make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you. Ending words from Copper. Make sure you subscribe so we can have thick cut bacon, please. We really appreciate it.